Welcomed by cheering crowds, the Pope wished thousands of worshippers in the Vatican's St Peter's Square a happy Easter. Unknowingly, these would be his final words spoken publicly. Just after 7:30 on Easter Monday, Pope Francis died at home at the age of 88. His death was announced by Cardinal Kevin Farrell.
Con profondo dolore devo annunciare la morte del nostro Santo Padre Francesco,
who commended his lifelong dedication to the service of the Lord and his Church. Francis was hospitalised in February for a respiratory illness that later evolved into a case of double pneumonia. He spent 38 days in hospital in Rome but was discharged last month. He was seen as a figure of authority and guidance for the 1.4 billion Catholics around the world.
It's honestly, I think, impressive that he made it to Easter. I think that's almost like a miracle for Italy. And I think tonight is going to be very sad for everyone.
We come from Australia. We were hoping there was some chance to see him, but then we heard about it when we came in here. And yeah, it's pretty much devastated all of us.
Born in Argentina in 1936, Pope Francis was the first Latin American to lead the Roman Catholic Church. This morning, Argentina's President Javier Milei said, "Despite differences that seem minor today, having been able to know him in his goodness and wisdom was a true honour for me. I bid farewell to the Holy Father and stand with all of us who are today dealing with this sad news." Pope Francis was a popular but at times controversial figure. As his death was announced, the Vatican praised his leadership for teaching universal love, especially in favour of the poorest and most marginalised. The King, who is head of the Church of England, joined global leaders to pay tribute to Francis, saying he and his wife were deeply saddened to learn of his death, adding, "His Holiness will be remembered for his compassion, his concern for the unity of the Church, and for his tireless commitment to the common causes of all people of faith." Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, said he joined millions around the world grieving his death, adding, "He was a pope for the poor, the downtrodden and the forgotten. He was close to the realities of human fragility, meeting Christians around the world facing war, famine, persecution and poverty." At an Easter event at the White House, flags flew at half-mast as US President Donald Trump honoured the late pontiff.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man, worked hard, he loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
In Ireland, where nearly 70% of the population identify as Roman Catholic, the President, Michael D. Higgins, said Pope Francis had sought to play a positive role on issues such as attitudes to women and the LGBT+ community in the Catholic Church. Other European leaders also made tributes. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said he had asked the world for the courage to change direction, while Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez spoke of his commitment to peace, social justice and the most vulnerable. And in a rare moment of unified sentiment, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky both praised Francis, with the Ukrainian president saying he knew how to give hope, ease suffering through prayer and foster unity. He prayed for peace in Ukraine and for Ukrainians. "We grieve together with Catholics and all Christians who looked to Pope Francis for spiritual support." His death has set in motion a centuries-old and highly secretive process of electing a new pope. Mourners have been invited to pay their respects before Pope Francis is laid to rest.